Hey guys, welcome to another stream, man. 6 o'clock evening stream. Just wanted to get you one strip before I go to Atlanta. Yes, I said that out my mouth. Now I just gotta accept it. But you see the title. Do I even need to explain? Are the New Orleans Saints in big trouble? I'm about to explain that. And I'm explaining goody two shoes. Alright. Are the Saints in big trouble? Well, the simple answer is, honestly, there is no simple answer with the Saints. So I'm gonna give y'all my opinion, and then I'm gonna go in on my opinion. So, the New Orleans Saints, are they in big trouble? Well, the simple answer is actually no. They're not in big trouble. We have a viewer watching. Shout out to the viewer. The Saints are not in trouble, or in big trouble, I should say. If we look at the past season to this season, the Saints were a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. Alright. And then you add guys like Chase Young on the defensive line. Okay. You add some offensive power. Sort of. I don't think the Saints are going to win 15 games and go on a Super Bowl run. That's not what I think. You got some delusional Saints fan out there that probably say that they'll win more than 15 games and win the Super Bowl by 50 points. So, yeah. Alright. Blaze said Canes versus Bobcats round 2. Alright. Alright, cool. Go Canes. But, back on this topic, man. Saints, we gotta do something. Saints are not in big trouble. You're gonna have some. I saw a video by, I believe it was J&D Productions, I don't know, something like that, where they said that the Saints are in big trouble. And I heavily disagree. If you look at the Saints, roster, I don't see where they're in big trouble. But you also have to look at the schedule as well. Like, let's look at the Saints' schedule. So if you look at the Saints' schedule, sorry guys, I was looking at the preseason games for some reason. But if you look at the Saints' schedule, right? Week 1, you got the Panthers. You should win that game. You got the Cowboys and the Eagles following. Those are some tough games, but you can maybe win one of those two. Then you play the Falcons. Divisional games are always tough, or are always 50-50. You play the Chiefs. That game's most likely not going your way. Play the Buccaneers. Like I said, it's about divisional games. Then you play the Broncos, who will also be on a short week, along with the Saints. Then you take on the Chargers. You play the Panthers. Those are 2 games that are winnable. Falcons again. Then you play the Browns, which is a tougher game than you would like, but you can play tougher teams. And then it's your bye week. Then you open your bye week playing the Rams. That's going to be a tough battle, but you can win that game. Then you play the Giants, where you could win. You play Washington, another winnable game. Then you play the Packers, which is most likely not going your way, but maybe you can. Then you play the Raiders and Buccaneers to close out the season. And if we look at what the Saints done in this past off season, if we look Okay. Alright, we're good now. But yeah, if you look at the Saints past offseason, they made all the moves that you wanted them to make. They brought back Tyrann. Yeah, they re-signed Tyrann Mathieu. They signed Xander Horvath, re-signed Mario Davis. They signed Willie Gay. They signed Nathan Peterman. Nathan Peterman, I don't think he's going to make the roster. They brought in Cedric Wilson. They brought in Stanley Morgan. They brought in the big name Chase Young, along with a lot of other guys who are good at football. Now, if we look at the Saints roster, if you look at the Saints, let's look at their draft. First round, you go get your premier offensive lineman, Talise Fuaga. Then in the second round, you trade up to get Kool-Aid McKinstry, which is the best cornerback in the draft. You heard it here first, folks. Then you went out, you drafted you drafted Spencer Rattler in the 5th, who could be a good backup quarterback if you need him to be. Then you went out and got guys like Bub Means, Jalen Ford, Christian Boyd, and that one offensive lineman prospect. What's his name? Josiah Easerum. Yeah, him. So, yeah. If you look at the Saints, their starting quarterback is Derek Carr, and their backup as of right now is Jay Kaner. And then you got Spencer Rattler behind Haener. I mean, that's not a bad quarterback room. Derek Carr is coming off of his best touchdown-to-interception ratio at 25 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. So, and most of them came in the final 5 games or so. Most of the touchdowns, man. So, yeah. Then the running back room, you got Kamara, Jamal Williams, Kendra Miller, and Jordan Mims. That's not a terrible running back room either now, folks. Come on now, that's not a terrible running back room. Okay. You got AK, 41. And then Jamal Williams, who a lot of people forget, he had 17 touchdowns 2 years ago in a Ben Johnson-led offense. And we got Clint Kubiak, and Clint Kubiak and Ben Johnson are kind of like the same type of schemer. So, I'm not saying Jamal Williams will pop off for 17 touchdowns again, but he was projected to be the backup when he scored 17 touchdowns, and he is the backup here. Plus, Pete Carmichael ran 0, I repeat, 0 2 running back sets. Clint Kubiak ran 36% of 2 running back sets. I think second or third most in the NFL. I'm not sure. Now, if we look at the wide receiver room, you got Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed, the aforementioned Cedric Wilson. And then you get some good guys like A.G. Perry, who can go get the ball. You got Equanimeous St. Brown, who his brother, Amon-Ra St. Brown, taught him some things. So maybe Q can be a good reliable receiver. You got Bub Means, the guy that the Saints drafted. And then you got Stanley Morgan, probably going to play special teams. Jermaine Jackson, who could be a good punt returner. Mason Tipton, and then Kyle Sheets rounding out the receiver room. And then tight ends, you got Juwan Johnson. So, yeah. And the rest of the roster you should know. So, are the Saints in big trouble? They are not. Because if you look at the past couple seasons, they went 7-10, 9-8. So if history repeats itself, the Saints are 11-6. And that almost guarantees you the division. I have the Panthers winning the division at 9-8. And no, I'm not trolling. I wish I was. I think the Panthers are being slept on. As much as I hate to say it. As they are also a division rival of my favorite football team. But you also gotta look at this too. The New Orleans Saints. I have them winning 8 games, but I do have them winning a playoff game. So technically, I have them at 9 wins, just finishing the regular season with 8 of them. I think the NFC will be incredibly weak this year. So yeah, I got New Orleans Saints. Are they in big trouble? No, they're not. So yeah, this is the last time I'll see y'all, at least live, from oh wow. My fault, y'all. Last time I'll see y'all live until Friday. So I'll leave you all, as always, with the who dat, and don't be a Falcon. Don't be a Falcons fan.